Hello, I'm Jerry Fort, the beer review guy. This is the one I was talking to y'all about in one of my other videos that I made today. I can't remember even which one it was. Shoot, I might not have even uploaded it yet. I don't know, but a big steel reserve, 8.1% ABV, 40 fluid ounce. Got to be careful with these things. Nice and cold. But alcohol just gets you. Yeah, I was talking about that. I don't know, it might have been a while back that I reviewed this. Originally reviewed it. But I saw this big 40-ounce glass bottle. Man, I could not pass this thing up because I like collecting the larger bottles. Those are fun to collect. So I grabbed this. I think it was like three something. So I grabbed it. When I was waiting for Friday, which it is Friday right now, about 4 o'clock, something like that, to do this, just in case. So, but yeah, and I was talking about that, you know, when I get something like this, and the label is in decent shape, you know, I like to get the ones, if I pull one out and the label's kind of curled or faded or ripped or torn or whatever, well, I put it back and I get the next one to see if it's in better shape. I want a nice, you know, a nice bottle, one that's in good shape. But I take it up to the counter, I'm wanting the, you know, the clerk or the cashier, whatever, to be careful with it, you know. I don't want it to get messed up. And then plus, you know, a lot of times I'll wipe these off, clean off the bottle, but you have to be careful not to get this label too wet. It'll make that tear or wrinkle or whatever, so you got to be really careful with that. In this glass bottle, it's not really necessary to pour it out into a cup, you know, because you can see if this is a review, if this is a revisit, then I'd pour it into a cup. I got a little plastic cup. I didn't want to dirty up you know, glass when you can do it like this. This is fine. Got a finger of head. Head is white, bigger bubbles, glassy. You know, got a deep goldish color on it, some carbonation showing there. Nice sweet aroma, malty. Get the alcohol a little bit. Can't hide the 8.1% too easily. Hops, of course. Barley malts. It's one of the better malt liquors in the high gravity kind. I'm real picky about my malt liquors. Um, the more mild ones, like this, is the ones I like. The stuff like that are 12%, that are like the Axe Head and the Camos, for example. Um, excuse me, side pocket. Excuse me again. And even the smaller ABV beers, like the Boxer Lager, it tastes like a lower ABV malt liquor. This caliber, not this caliber, but uh, um, yeah, maybe. It's not like really harsh. It just doesn't taste good. It just doesn't. It just has that cheap malt liquor taste. That's what I'm trying to go for. But like I always tell everybody, the best malt liquor I've ever had was St. Ides, and I got it one time back when I first started doing my reviews. Found it at a hole-in-the-wall liquor store in one of the worst parts of Tulsa, and there it was. Grabbed it up. It was a fancy, St. Ides label is fancy. It didn't look like something you'd find in this ragged hole-in-the-wall liquor store. And I was like, whoa, what is that? I also found some Schlitz malt liquor, the Red Bull, I think it was called. I found it in there as well. I reviewed that one. But this is smooth. For it being 8.1%, this is a pretty smooth malt liquor. I say malt liquor. I mean, it doesn't say malt liquor on it. But from what I understand is if it's a high gravity, or it's up in that range of high alcohol lager types, then they're actually a malt liquor type of beer. So that's kind of how I go by, what I go by. But yeah, I just my wife and son went shopping. My son needs to find some jeans. He's wearing out the ones he has, but that he wears for work, so he needs some more. But I'm just out here visiting with you guys, and when I come out here and visiting with you guys, then I'm visiting like I would, let's just say, my brother Wayne, my deceased brother. When we would talk, a lot of times like this, we'd be drinking a beer, and we'd be sitting out drinking a beer while my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, would be visiting with my wife, and we'd be sitting out here just laughing and talking and just having a good old time, drinking some beer and just making jokes and crap, I miss that. But out of 5 brothers, me, out of 4 brothers, counting myself as 5, but when you're a young man, you never think that there's a possibility you could, be one of 2 brothers left. It's just me and my older brother Larry left. I lost my oldest brother Terry, and then my youngest brother Kerry, and then Wayne, which his real name is Derry. So I don't know if I've ever told you guys this or not, but us 5 boys is Terry, Larry, Derry, Jerry, and Carrie. That's how my folks named us. So it's funny, and people get a kick out of hearing that. Now, Wayne is Derry Wayne. Wayne is his middle name, so he didn't go by Derry. He never went by Derry, but he'd always sign his name D Wayne, D Wayne Ford, I think, something like that. A lot of times. Excuse me. Oh, here comes the bees. They smell this sweet beer. Putting that out of my way so I can fight. Come on. Come on, yeah. All I need is one good shot. Yeah, come on. You know how praying mantises, you know, they go like this and then they go like that. I don't think they use one claw. You know, they don't do that, I don't think, but okay, he chickened out. I was thinking about the other day about how I used to be fast. I was fast because I grew up with my brother Wayne, and we would do slap boxing. Which, when I say slap boxing, I don't know if everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. This wasn't like we didn't hit each other hard. We didn't slap each other hard. It was more like tap fighting. You know, if you were able to just touch each other's, you know, just get you on the cheek like that, then that was your shot. You got him, you know. But we was also good at blocking. You know, he'd go in and I'd block it, and I'd come in and get him. And I grew up doing that with my brother Wayne. And as I got older, whenever he'd come over to visit or something, then we'd be doing that. Slap boxing is what we called it. But I started doing that also with my nephew Wayne's son Andrew. We was doing that too because well, Andrew was good at it too, so we'd do slap boxing too. I'd get into doing that with him, and then it's a guy I used to work with. I was slap boxing with him, but there was this big girl that I used to work with that I slap boxed with, and we'd be back in receiving, and in the warehouse, and we'd be slap boxing, and she would start coming in like crazily, and I ended up stumbling back over a bunch of boxes of shoes, and it was just a funny thing. I called her the slap box queen. But I think it takes a lot of skill also to be able to have the control not to hit hard. You know, if you come in fast enough and just like that without hitting hard, you have some control. But a lot of things too is blocking. Quick enough to block and counter type thing. And when Jeremy and I went to, we did some taekwondo classes for a few months, and him and I both signed up, but it's too expensive. I couldn't afford to do that for very long. But excuse me, the time I was there, I was there long enough to get to do some sparring. I sparred with 2 guys, not at the same time, but this is when I was younger. I was limber. I could almost do the splits, and I was quick, really good at blocking, and the guy in charge that was teaching us said that I was I was really good at blocking. And I first sparred with the young guy, and I was blocking his hits. I come in with a like that, you know, come in. You got your gloves on. I come in and I got him across the face, and he come in to try to get me back, and um, I blocked it, and then, but he got a kick in on me toward the stomach area, but he was good. That was, man, that was like 10 or more years ago. He could be a black belt by now. Him and I both, I think, were like yellow advanced belts. And then I sparred with another guy. He was a little bit older than the kid, and he was throwing some good punches, and I was blocking those. But he was quick. But that's all we ended up doing. I ended up just blocking most of them, and then he complimented me, saying, "Man, you're really quick and good at blocking. That's a good skill to have in the blocking part." He says, "But you need to learn." He'd been there longer than me. He says, "You need to learn to counter when you block. You got to learn to counter a little bit too." I wasn't there long enough to do that. I grew up watching martial arts movies, and watched a little bit of like full contact karate, some kickboxing and stuff, and that was fun to watch. My dad, he watched that occasionally. Boxing too, just regular boxing. But I'd always been into that kind of stuff, but never did anything about it, like take classes or anything. But in my mind, I'm still quick. But in all actuality, I'm not anymore. I don't think. I haven't slap boxed like that with anybody in years. But anyway, trying to think of some things just to chat about while we're sitting out here. Tonight, hopefully, my wife and son was talking about, it's close to Halloween. It's around the time we usually watch scary movies, and trying to think of something that's entertaining to watch and something not too crazy, I brought up Chucky, and Chucky's got, I think it's the first one's Child's Play, I believe it's called, but there's like 3 or 4 movies of that. There's The Bride of Chucky, and I don't remember what else they got, but I wanted to watch the first one with Jeremy and Ruthie, my wife, and see how it goes, and maybe watch the next one. It's stupid though. I mean, have you noticed? You gotta buy some of them. I mean, you gotta rent some of them. $2.99 usually, something like that. Well, we can't find it for free anywhere on any of the channels, so you have to rent it for $3. And the other ones you could find them free, but it's kind of tricky, isn't it? But anyway, I was telling Jeremy a little bit about Hellraiser. That movie tripped me out. The first one tripped me out watching that. I don't think the next ones get any better. I think I might have watched number 2, but they just getting kind of too wild. Um, what reminded me of it is Jeremy's got this game called Super Fight, and one of the characters in it that it popped up was well, was it Pinhead? I think it was Pinhead that popped up, and I started telling Jeremy about it, and that's how that come about. But of course, there's all the classics, all the Halloween movies, all the Friday the 13th movies, all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Those are always fun to watch. Then there's the Freddy versus Jason, and you have, not really scary in that way, but you got the movies like Predator versus Alien. It's funny how even the classics like the Halloween, like the first Halloween movie, even still today, I don't remember when the first one come out, but I wanted to say it was like early 80s or something like that. Jamie Lee Curtis was like really young. But even still today, it's still pretty creepy. Pretty freaky movie. That's when you know they did a good job. But anyway, I want to be conscious to watch the movies. If I drink all this 8.1% ABV, I'm going to be like my brother Wayne. He was like that. He drank too much, and then he'd go to sleep during the movies. I wanted him to watch with me. I'd look over there, he'd be like, that's him. And I'd be like, I've tried waking him up before, and he might wake up, oh, yeah, what? So, excuse me, I had to catch him at times when he wasn't really tired and hadn't drank so much, but 23 minutes. So you guys enjoying this? Hope you're drinking a beer with me, just listening to me jabber on. Wayne liked to watch movies with me if he could stay conscious. Stuff like we both enjoyed First Blood. You know, all those the Sylvester Stallone movies, Rambo, Terminator movies. He liked watching stuff like that with me and stuff. But my younger brother that passed away, he liked movies like what was the name? American Pie. I had never seen that movie, and they were like, Jerry, have you ever seen American Pie? I was like, no. You haven't seen American Pie? I said, no. We was out of town. We was in Texas doing a mold job when my younger brother was actually my boss. He was one of the owners of this company. And we was out of town doing a mold job because that's what we did, restoration. And we was in Texas. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And we was gonna like rent a movie, you know, in the hotel. You know, you could rent a movie. And that's when he asked me, him and his wife both. You haven't seen American Pie? It's like, no, why? It's really good. It's funny as heck. We gotta watch it. Like, okay, that movie was ridiculous. That was funny. Plus, we was drinking beer. That's what forts do, you know. That's what we did. And we was just, well, we was having a good time. Drinking beer and watching crazy movies like that. There was another one. It wasn't that night they rented it, but crap. What was the name of that movie? Something about so-and-so, or what about, crap, I can't remember. It was another movie that was nasty, like American Pie. Something about Mary. Something about Mary. That's what it was. Yeah. Anyway, those are the good old days. It's Friday night. Maybe there's a few of you out there that haven't got anything else to do but crack open a beer and just listen to Jerry talk and slowly get a buzz on. Coming into fall, coming into cooler weather, you guys have your own house, an old house that you live in? Anybody that goes through the same thing that I do? You have outside projects to do, but you need cooler weather to do it in. I think Oklahoma might be a special situation because it's so humid. It's so hot in the summer. Plus you got mosquitoes that just want to eat you up. I don't really say that I'm from Oklahoma. I mean, I've been here over 30 years. I've been here over almost 40 years. But I grew up most of my life in Colorado and South Carolina. A lot of my younger days. Born in Iowa. But I didn't experience mosquitoes like I do here. I didn't grow up with vicious, aggressive mosquitoes. Now, in South Carolina, I grew up with vicious fire ants. Had a few encounters with them that you don't forget those things. The ant hills in South Carolina from the fire ants, they're huge. They get huge, and you'd barely touch the ant hill, just a little bit, and the fire ants just flood out. They flood out looking to who bothered their hill, who bothered their home, and they will kill you if they can get you. When fire ants get disturbed and they come out, nothing will survive against them. The only thing that you can counter them with is gasoline. They are ridiculous. I found a few here in Oklahoma. I don't know if they're the same type of fire ants, but they have the same makeup as fire ants from South Carolina. They have the soldiers and they have the workers and they have the queens, and they look similar, but I don't know if they're exactly the same or not. But and I haven't tested on how aggressive they are and stuff either. But the ones I found, they don't have very big colonies yet, so not like they are in South Carolina. But yeah, there's no other ant species that can go up against them. like multitudes of those ants against anything else. You know, do you guys know what uh, a doodle bug is? They're also called antlion. And have you seen in the dust, the real fine dust, the little funnels that go down? It's their trap. Have you ever seen these? An ant or another insect will go in there. They can't get out, right? They're trying to get out, and all they're doing is making the fine dust just go underneath the little legs. They're trying to get, but they can't. And when the antlion, the doodle bug, senses this, you know, they have these pincers that are like this, and they throw up dust up on their victim and make them fall down. When they fall down on top of them, they grab hold of the pincers. I mean, the pincers grab hold of them, of the antlion grabs hold of them and pulls them down underneath into the dust. It's almost like a scary alien movie or some kind. Grab them, and then they just like what a spider does, sucks their juices out, and then after they're done, then they shoot them out, rebuild their little funnel home. Well, you could throw a fire ant in there and they'll kill them just fine, you know, and they'll eat them. But you put a whole dadgum herd of those fire ants inside that funnel thing, and they'll find that little doodle bug and they'll kill him and probably pull him into their anthill. So it's like those antlion doodle bug things, they can take on one, maybe two, but not a whole bunch of them. But also another ant type species that was popular in South Carolina was the antlion, or was the velvet ants, which are also called cow ants. Have you seen these things? They look like a bee without wings. They're beautiful. They have orange and black colors to them. Some are red, some are orangish, kind of striped a little bit. Those things, I've heard their sting is like wicked. So yeah, you don't want to touch those things. You don't want one on you. And they get big. Some of the bigger ones get like maybe almost 2 inches, I think. Something like that. Over 30 minutes. Well, I think I'm going to cut it off here. I've enjoyed chatting with you guys, whoever sat in. One thing, let me just say something that before I sign off here. A lot of times I'll do these reviews, okay, which I've really enjoyed doing. But I have so many of viewers or subs that they don't watch the review. You may be one of them. You don't watch the review, but in the title you see what it is. Let's just say, for example, Tecate. You're not familiar with Tecate. You ask, let's just say, you ask, well, so what is Tecate? Or, excuse me, what kind of beer is Tecate? If the person actually looks at the title, they will see that it is a beer. If you watch the review, you'll see that it's a Mexican beer. That's just a light example. But I've had comments like, let's see, what's a good example? Let's say the muffins I just reviewed, the apple and cinnamon streusel. Things that I say in there, they're asking about. So what is in the apple and cinnamon streusel muffins? Well, I always tell the ingredients in my reviews, right? So I'm like, why are you asking me this? If you watched the review, you already know. So obviously you didn't watch the review. Who goes into a comment knowing that the person that did the review could, is gonna know that you didn't watch his review actually? That's insulting to the video creator, that you're just showing that you didn't actually watch the review all the way through, at least. Sometimes the person that's doing the review is saying stuff at the end of the review. You need to watch most of it at least, and go to the ending, and just make sure that that's just like, I don't want to repeat myself in a reply. I don't want to have to say, well, all these things are in it, even though I already said it verbally in the review that this stuff's in it. I will go ahead and type with my arthritis hands out what is in it. No, I'm going to tell you, well, you need to watch the review, and then you will hear me say what is in it. How about that? I notice as I drink stuff, I go on more rants, don't I? I rant more when I'm drinking something. So, on that note, I better stop here, because I don't know where I'm going to go from there. But I got a couple things I need to do, and get ready for the evening. Hopefully we'll watch some Chucky, maybe playing some games, maybe Super Fight. Who knows? It's a game, Super Fight. But 37 minutes. That is crazy. All of our plants and flowers are going to be dying here soon with the cold. We had a little bit of a freeze the other night, but our stuff is still doing good. Got a hibiscus that's still looking good. Marigolds, they do pretty good in cold weather, but okay, it's nice just sitting here just talking. I hear the guineas over there making a bunch of noise. Half of it. Put the rest in the refrigerator. Drink the rest later this evening. Okay. That beer went right through me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And we will see you on the next one. You know what? This is my last. No, I have a porter. I have a porter still left. I did that polygamy porter, but I have one more left. So I have that one, and I think that's it for the beers. And then it's down to the little liquor bottles that I have, and the Chi-Chis. The Chi-Chis mixed drink things, and the little liquor bottle shooters that I have. And then I'm out of stuff. But I think that's going to take me a little while to get through that. I still got a week before I get paid again, but so I'll still have some stuff left over. But I gotta find some other stuff to review if I'm gonna do any more. Running out of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna end it here because I don't have an undergarment like Depends or something on to just in case. Gosh. Yeah, I made a joke one time about Depends. And what was the deal with that? Crap, that was so long ago. I think one of my sister-in-laws, I think it was Wayne's wife, my sister-in-law Angel, was afraid that somebody was going to get offended when I said it. This wasn't on a review, it was just in verbal joking around, talking and stuff. And crap, I can't even remember where this went. Shouldn't even brought it up if I didn't know, if I couldn't remember the story. Anyway, it didn't turn out to be nothing, and she knew I was just joking around. That was just being me. That's just me. I'm very seldom serious. I'm more just being a joker. That's the way I've always been. My wife had to get used to that about me just hardly ever being serious. And anything she'd say, I'd say something stupid back and make her say, "Can't you ever be serious?" No. Anyway, okay. Well, I'm gonna end it here. I thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good weekend. And maybe I'll do another review maybe Sunday. Maybe that porter might have a cold night. I can do that porter up. I think I did my last tea. I was trying to get those done before colder weather got here because it's kind of a summer thing. I think all I have is a porter to do, so maybe I'll do that one Sunday evening or something. Yeah. Okay. See you all in the next one. Have a good weekend. I'll probably upload this maybe later this evening or tomorrow. So